Here we go. I'm going to be doing a review of the knockoff figures for the TFC Hercules. As you can see, this is the scrapper figure, and he's not too bad. Only issues I see that are like the hips. These are on ball joints, they're not on the clicky ratchets like the originals were. His head does not have a swivel on it, so he can't turn, can't look at nothing. The backpack here, you can't close it all the way. So I'm thinking maybe if I shave this or do some type of modification here, I might be able to get the backpack all the way up onto it. There is no heel spur. This whole thing is empty. Oh, and the arms here, they just swivel. There's no clicking, there's no stopping action to them. Kind of a bummer, but not too bad. He's probably my favorite figure out of the whole set. As you see, he stands fairly decent. Turn the legs just a little bit. Feet don't really want to go completely to the ground. And if you did, he's going to be at an angle slightly. You see better there. Alright. He has that kind of waist, but doesn't have an upper torso waist here. Arms, you can stop that part. They do go up that far, and they go back that far, but then they're stopped by that wheel. Of course, they go out that far. They have a bend at the elbow, but there's no wrist action for a swivel. You can bend it in, but that's due to transformation. Like I said, leg, it's right there on a ball joint, so you got good motion there. It does have the knee. And his head can look up and down, but that's due to transformation. There's no turn, like I said. Something I noticed that the original didn't have is that these parts can pop out and swing up. Now if they did on the original, I don't know, because I've never owned the original. So you can pop the wheels up like that. I don't know why you'd want to, but just give it that Cybertron feel. And I think that character, what, Long-Haul? I forgot his name. My favorite series out of the whole Armada trilogy. Anyways, let's transform him real quick. Now the reason I'm starting in robot modes is that way at the end I can combine everybody, and it's a whole lot simpler just to do it that way. Oh wait, before I do, let's just pretend his fists are still out. Alright, let's get him standing okay. Put him right there. We're gonna do a little size comparison real quick. Now most people have a seeker mold, so there they are in comparison. For the very top of his head, about chest waist here. I guess that's a better way to look at him. That's right about dead on. Anyways, this is gonna be my market comparison guy. Alright, so anyways, go back to the transformation here. Pop these up. Pop this one up. The head just simply folds back into it. Don't have to turn that around. We just have to move these up. Lock them in with these two pegs. Okay. Now, I noticed in the original one, there was like a hinge here to where this could all bend up. It's one solid piece. Alright, so we're going to bring that back. Sits into there. And then those two pegs, those two peg holes. I don't know if you see that very well. Kind of bad because I'm going between looking at the figure and looking at the camera. That's kind of tight. It's in there snug. Okay, now move these guys down. I don't know why I did that. Now, it's supposed to bend all the way over and kind of sits on top of that. And one thing about these arms, I'll show you on this side, but there's no peg holes, it's one hollow area there. We'll just rest it in there, so that's fine. I don't like this because the head is right there where you see it, but you got the scoop behind it, which works out. Now it does come with this part. I noticed that the peg on the bottom is bigger than the peg on the top. So when you go to try to fit this into this small hole, this part will not fit. I've tried. I might have to sand it down to fit it. But the other side fits. You gotta kind of squeeze it in there though. Little turn. Fits in there. He has a cab, but it's upside down. I guess you see better that way. Yeah, kind of lame. So yeah, I'm gonna fix that. Anyways, there he is in his earth mover. Not too bad. Oh yeah, I didn't show you that. This part. This part can split. So you have the two hooks. You have like some maximum overdrive coming at you. If you don't know that movie, then well, you're too young. Get over it. Alright, now, I've never taken these apart, so we don't know how they exactly fit back together here. Got a peg there. There we go. One guy was watching his video. He's the only other guy I've seen do these, and apparently it was either this part or part somewhere around here it broke. Anyways, that's unfortunate. Anyways, there's Scrapper. I like him. Now, you do have this joint that's showing if you wanted to. That's kind of tight. Slide it down. No clicks, it's just mushroom pegged into there. But you can move it down, kind of hide it, leaves a little gap, but nothing major. Alright, so like I said, there's Scrapper. Let's go on to somebody else. Alright, let's go Bone Crusher. Now, unfortunately, they did do a lot of changes to this guy. One thing, this part is really, really loose. I'm gonna have to take that apart, put some floor polish into there, tighten that up. The other one is tight. That's pretty tight. That one. That's a knockoff. What do you expect? Okay. Anyways, feet. They don't have those gear parts for the feet. So you had a heel spur and the front. This is just one piece. So, yeah, a little bit of action. And it's really tight. I mean, it feels like it's got indents in there. what else is different about this guy? These parts, they don't have the little hinge here where they can fold up onto it. You can pretty much just look at it and know there's a bunch of differences. This part is supposed to come around and sit onto his chest. Now he's got shovel face. He's like, I'm gonna come get you. I said it's supposed to be one solid piece, and then the two parts are supposed to come off, and they're supposed to sit on top of here, and then these parts are missing. These parts shouldn't even still be on here. Now, I was looking at them, and they're just like pegged in there, so I can pop them off, leave them off if I wanted to, but I'm just going to leave them on for right now, because this is how it officially looks when you get it. And I just fold those back. They do come off. You can give him like big shovelly bunny ears. They're like, ha ha ha, Easter's coming, fool. Close those up. Close that. There is no head swivel due to the whole thing being one solid mold. This is like the other. It's just wedged in there. Oh, okay. Get this out of the way. It's pretty tight. Right, he does, his arms move in and out this way, they just don't turn except for right there. That's part of the transformation. So you don't get a second turn. The arms move in and out. That's as far as it's going. In and out. Does have a bend, but it only goes to 90 degrees. Stops there. The wrist goes in due to transformation. Plus there's something about the transformation with those. The legs, they're on that ball joint. So of course you can have him kick himself back in the back of his head if you wanted to. And do a complete high kick. Hey, actually stuck that time. Well, that's because of gravity. Alright, bring that down. Then of course he's got his waist swivel, and that's a mushroom. And that's one thing I don't understand about these. Oh yeah, that can come off. I don't know what this thing is. I've seen it on the original, but I don't know what it connects to. Don't know what it does. No idea. Anyways, and we stick that back in. Now there's something, point that out real quick. It's got a couple of little air holes there. That's kind of nice. Makes it easier to pull it out. Don't have to have it stuck in there. Alright, let's do transformation on this guy. Okay, this is the thing I was going to explain about the fist. When you want to turn these fists in, you want to go partially into there, pull this down so it leaves a little bit of a gap on the inside. I'm not sure if that's visible. Anyways, a little bit of a gap, then you can push it all the way in and fold that forward. If not, when you go to push it back, it's not going to go any further unless you rub it against that one finger. Once that's down, close it up. Okay, so rotate these around, and we pull this down, go to this side of it, and this folds in, that folds in. Let's just pull those off. No, I'll just leave that one off. Okay, pull the feet in. Rotate this around so that way we get that full bend. And lock that in, lock that in. Oh, we'll go ahead and throw that back on now. In there. Okay. Now this isn't completely locked together. There's like two little plastic clips. They just don't want to catch completely and hold. I think it's maybe something in here, so I might have to do a little bit of shaving on that. You can partially see it coming undone. You can see the huge holes here, here, all along the whole thing. So, yeah, I can fix that. The legs don't quite want to go all the way together. It's going to be at this little V. And there's no wheels on this one. So he's like Maketoys. And of course, like I said, there's supposed to be these pieces, but the metal bar, and then the other shovel, and it's supposed to, yeah, whatever. Anyways, there's Bone Crusher. Oh, I didn't put him up against Starscream. Well, whatever. Just trying to get through this real quick. I took some medicine and I've been sick. I don't want to pass out in a few minutes. Alright, well, Bone Crusher. Alright, gonna stop. Alright, next, you're looking at Hook. Or whatever name they came up with it. Here's the back view. Of course, you see this is where Hercules' head is at. And of course, you see the big hollowness in the back of the arms, as well as the legs. I don't remember if any of the reviews said this is supposed to have heel spurs or not, but it looks like maybe it could have. I don't remember. I just watched those videos the other night. Anyways, okay, arms, it goes up that far, but due to the joint here, you can go all the way up. And of course, he's got the bend at the elbow, all the way. I got a little bit of flash there, nothing until now. Scrape that and that off. I wonder if the other wheels have that. Yep, that one does. So that one, and that one. I'm going to have to go back and trim. Alright, and he's got a little bit of scuffing, paint wear. I'll look at that again also later. Okay, where was I? I was going down to the hips. Move these out of the way. And that's as far as he can kick. So, he can't kick you in the face, but he can kick small children. Alright, you can kick forward. Leg goes back that far, but that's due to the transformation. My part's got to be there. And he has no waist, except for that little tiny wiggle. Knees bending that far, so he can step on puppies. And oh, the original, these you could fold back. Can't do it on this one. He has no wrist swivels whatsoever. Not a make or break. Head is stuck to the body, so if I want that to turn, I want to cut his whole head off and then put it on a ball joint. Anything else? I did notice that he's got the connector point for his Hercules mode, and of course he's got one here too, but that's the thing I don't quite understand. You got these points here, you got one on both sides, and where is it? It's on the opposite side of the body. No, it's not. Where? Oh, yeah, it is. Is that it? No, that's not it. There are two other points on this guy. Oh, right here, right at the waist. He's got one on both sides. Now I noticed when I go in Hercules mode that you only flip one and one. Actually it's the opposite side. So you would flip, yeah, these two on this side, and then you would flip these on the other side for the Hercules mode. So what are these two connectors for? I have no idea. You can't hook them on the long haul in the body mode. They just get in the way. Anyways, for his accessory part, this thing splits in half. There's both parts. It is one solid piece. It does not bend, pull apart, just breaks apart. And the way that these little holes are, you can't fit them under these little pegs like I thought. These are just too big. And you can't put these into these holes because these are just too big and too small. So I was thinking I had to split apart. I was going to put them on his arms. I'd have like these big sticks of death and beat you down with. Didn't work. Tried the pegs, still didn't work. So I'm going to try up here. Nope, that won't work on there either. That sucks. Alright, so anyways, this was a pain to take apart. I'm probably never going to take it apart again. Unless I actually cut it up and make it actually extend. But that would look so dorky because it doesn't rotate up. That's flash molded onto it straight. Anyways, we closed it on up. This was a pain to take apart. I have slightly fingernails. And I couldn't get it open. I had to get a little screwdriver to pop it open. Alright, that's closed up. Now, you can still put it on his back, like so, but because of its angle like that, puts him at a frontal angle. Not too happy about that. I guess maybe if I turned it low. Yeah, now you can stand straight. Alright, anyways, let's pop that off. And let's transform this guy real quick. It's gotta be out. It's gotta go in. Rotate up. And hold. Nice and tightly. Rotate that first, makes it a whole lot easier. And we've got these big gaps here, so that's something I'll have to fix yet again. Alright, that's a nice little tight squeeze together. Close that. Push that down, line those up. Line up just right, because that way all the wheels will touch the ground. The wheels pretty well. And let me put that part back on. So at least he looks like a crane. All around, he looks pretty decent. I like him. He's okay. Alright. On to the next one. Okay, so now we're going to look at probably my least favorite figure out of all 6 of them. And I'm trying to remember the name. Scavenger? Anyways, yeah. First off, you notice these things, they split apart because they're one solid piece. The hydraulics don't work, this doesn't bend. The only part that moves and bends is this part, and it's on a ball joint. So I splay them out. It kind of reminds me of the movie version. And of course, that was different body part altogether also. But anyways, gives it a little bit of that feel. Reason I don't like this guy, yeah, he's suffering from the limp leg mode again. And it might work if he was like on a football team or soccer team. Kick the ball, score a goal. Anyways, okay. Let's see, that's that, and the arms. His arms do not move forward whatsoever. I mean, here, I mean, it's like he would have to put his arm out straight like that and turn his wrist and then punch in the face. Or you can put both arms out and he like spin, do whirling tornado attack. he's pretty bad. No, the arms are completely hollow all the way through. These parts I noticed on the original, I don't think they were even on the arms. I think they were still on the body, and they folded up. And they don't even fold on this part. No, his hands, they do move around on a mushroom peg. And probably put a sword. Like, slash you. Head does not move. It is hollow as well, and it's flash molded to the body. This part, kind of flimsy, but it's, as you see, it stays up there. So once it's in place, it's not gonna flap down, move out of the way. It's when you get it to, no, actually it's pretty solid all the way through. I guess it was the first time I moved it. It kind of looks like a bat too. It's got his eyes, it's got little ears, it's got wings. He's got right back. Didn't notice that until just now. He's got the waist, like I said. The legs are on ball joints, just like Bone Crusher. So he's got all the range of motion on that. But that's it. He's just a guy that stands in the back and just goes, "Go get him, guys. Get him. Get him. You get him over there. You get him over there. I'm just gonna stand here and eat popcorn." Okay, anyways. Let's do transformation. Now, I'll just try to remember this real quick. That goes down. Let's go ahead and take this thing off. Just like any others, this comes off. Fold this shut. And it's got little tiny posts and post holes. So you have to be careful when splitting them apart, putting them together, because you don't want to break those. And the whole piece goes together. So, looks like one big green arm piece. And that's it. Alright. I don't know, this part's going to flip forward. These fold. Now, almost one thing I noticed is that when I do go to mod this, when I cut this off and put a pawl joint onto it, close out the head, probably close it about that far up to the line here, not too far. So that way this will still close and they'll still have his head and he can still look around and stuff. The arms, I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to fix those yet. Probably just cut this whole piece out and just put a whole new arm unit into it. Something that'll have a mushroom peg. Close this off. This I gotta try to figure out how I'm gonna swivel that in. And it's a work in progress. So anyways, pull this up. And I'm trying to remember, do I need to... Yeah, we'll leave them like that. That's fine. That way they're kind of hidden. And then this part, rotate that around. Feed in. Now, this part I was looking at on this one and the other one, because like I said, it's loose. That's gravity. Now, I could probably pop it out, but it looks like it's maybe a plastic pin of some type. Can't really see it too well. Maybe not even on the camera. Maybe some pledge will fix that. But I mean, it's this part and then these parts are on the outside, so there's gotta be a pin in there. I'll have to pop out. Anyways, pull this up. And we're going to bend them because this whole part will not fold all the way up due to this plate being in the way. Well, actually, the plate's not really in the way. I mean, it's just his legs suck. Yeah. Anyways, we'll lock that one on. We'll lock that one on, maybe. Yeah. Now these treads are pretty parallel. Compared, well, they got a little bit of V shape, but not as bad as Bone Crusher. Keep pushing it back. Anyways, close that down. And it's got these two little, I guess you can kind of see that. Yeah. There's two little grooves on either side here. And they're gonna slide that in. It just holds the arms together a little bit better. Then you got this huge gap here. I hate that gap. And I know the hands are supposed to be like folded around like this or the other way, so you got a peg, and then that peg, just like that. And then you put his, I guess, human component stationary area where they work on. Well, they use the vehicle. What the hell is that thing called? Oh, cab. Yeah. He didn't have a cab. So I'll have to like manufacture my own. Alright, you put this here, and he has no spot up here in the front, like the original does. Originally you had the piece and you could stick it in there, and then you could put a little cab on either side, or even back here, or right in the center. Like I said, no cab, no place. So it's stuck being in the back. That's it. And he rocks. Because these things. Well, there we go. Let's see the other side, it's kind of weak. Front view, angle. There's from the back. And of course, there's his head. Peekaboo, I see you. Or Scooby-Doo. Okay. Anyways. That's Scavenger. Let's carry on. Get the next one out. Try to get these quick so I can get Hercules together. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Mixmaster here. Mixmaster, probably my second favorite out of the group. I don't know exactly why. Maybe it's just that he has more points of articulation on him. So we'll go quickly into this one too. Like I said, most of the guys, they all suffer from just ball joint and hips here. This is kind of loose, but it's still kind of tight. So right about there, it starts getting loose. But it's tight right there, so it, well, so I really shake it. But it'll stay there until you shake it. And once it gets down to this point, yeah, it took a while for it to get back down. It's got the knee movement. It's got like the double knee movement. So you can really get up there. It looks weird that way, but he can do almost total. Well, yeah, he can probably do total splits if I move his hands out of the way. Yeah, so you can do a Van Dam. Okay, and of course moves that far forward. And of course, due to transformation, he can bend it way past 90 degree. Like, can't, well, you can go back, but you gotta go at an angle. But without doing an angle, it's pretty much parallel with the body. The arms, of course, you move up 90 degree there. Of course, he can swivel in. That's kind of nice. And he's got the big hollow, but that's due to the fist. I can forget that. Now, I prefer having these down. Sometimes I'll swing them up here. I think I could move them out. Oh wait, do it like this. That way he can act like he's Octane. I got wings. I got wheels for arms. He has no turn on his head. That's one solid piece, but it slides into the body. Or flash mold. Scrape that off again. Now, barrel, unlike the TFC one, where it splits in half, and then these parts come apart, and then there's like missile pods and all that, and they stick all over, like the holes here, and blah blah blah. These just split apart, and you can take it off. Now, I think this did have like a bend somewhere around here, and then you could fold it up and it'd be on its back. That way you could take this part, and then you could put his front V-wing chest piece that's split into 3. I'll show that later, but that's one solid piece. Well, actually, where is that? Right there. Like I said, that's one solid piece. There's the back. And you still put it on there. Doesn't really fit all that well, but get on there. Okay. So he can still shoot you, but barely. Shoot you down, shoot you up. You can kind of leave it on there. Gives him kind of a wing thing back there by the butt. But we're going to take that off. This does not sit flush with his back. I wish, like I said, I wish there was that little hinge so I could fold it up and that would be a complete piece. Oh yeah, I'm just going to fold these up. Let's see what it looks like that way too. Now, as I remember seeing on the original, the tires did flip back. Looks like there was a point that they could do that, but they didn't. So they just put the little plastic pegs here off of the mold of the chest and just pop the tires on. So they're stuck there. So he can't move his arms any further in unless, and that's about as far. But he needs some guns or needs to be reaching for something back there. Pop out, shoot you in the face. Alright, let's go to transformation. Try to remember something. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, these have to rotate all the way up. Pop the head in. The head's pretty tightly. Once he comes out to that point, I mean, it's kind of loose. When it gets to that point, you have to pull it out, and it will stay. Slides in. Anyways. Alright, remember, this rotates all the way up. Fold the hand in. Take it over. Now, one thing I noticed that I didn't really like about this arm connection piece is that when you go to flip this back, and you got the peg and the peg hole. Yeah, you see there's the peg hole. And you go to close it. Kind of have to off center a little bit just to get it over to the stupid thing. Come on. Get in the hole. Pack your bags. You got your plane ticket. Time to go home. Send it to its home. Come on. Get on in there. Let's do these arms. The arms are kind of wonky. You kind of have to turn this part kind of just like that side, so that way they'll sit in there a little bit more comfortably. And that's about one thing I don't like about it. Alright, now this part is going to fold back. This little part's going to fold back. And it's got the two pegs on the front here, one on top, one on the front. And of course that just slides those together. Push the feet in. Rotate the whole thing around. Okay, and we'll take this. This thing I didn't like taking apart. It's always, you have to do it right at the perfect angle that the end here, these two ends will be flush together. Let's see how hard this was to do on camera. And I think this is one reason I kind of describe these as like Easter eggs, because this thing feels like an Easter egg. God, I hate this. Okay, there we go. Do not like splitting this thing apart. Alright, now that's together. Bring up the back end here. Sit that in. That rests onto the back of that one. And there you go. We got Mixmaster in his vehicle mode. And there's just something about the front of this vehicle. It's like, I'm just cruising down the road. I'm just chilling. Don't look at me. I'm just a mixing truck. It's got shades. That's what it is. It's like one of those old 90s shade visor things. He's like Jordy. Okay, now we're going to look at long haul. And I'd probably say he's like maybe my third favorite. Maybe a second favorite. Whole group. Okay, they messed up on a couple parts here. First off, this whole thing being open, I dislike that so much. The legs don't have ratchets, those are ball joints. Maybe in time I see that being an issue for the giant figure. And the arm assembly is completely messed up. I'm gonna have to take the screw out of the front because that's the only piece that's holding this whole. It's one solid piece, and I'm gonna pop that out. You can see this post here for the screw, and I'm gonna have to reconfigure a whole piece just for this, and it's gotta hold on to this part as well. And this part, I think I can put maybe this peg, sand it down, put another post onto it, and the post could hook up to one of these two holes, and it'll be parts former, but when it turns into truck mode, you'll see why. Due to this being completely on the piece here, the arm kind of stuck at a 90. I mean, you can get it down to this point, but at this point, when you go to move it, you're pushing really against this part and bending it. And I hate doing that. But you put the arm back. The arms move up full 180 all the way out. I mean, I like the arms. I just hate that part. Of course, it moves due to the transformation. The head is stuck. No rotation. And you could pop this out and he could look down. Look, just a little bit of wiggle. Kind of, like I said, that sucks. Alright, now to this side too. Hate this. The wrist, it's flash molded, it's stuck. This part, as I remember from other transformations, this would fold down, but it's stuck too. It's right here. And it's kind of white already. Didn't put any pressure on it. So yeah, I'll probably cut it there and do like some type of hinge onto that. This legs ball joints, so you get the average motion. So you can move this out of the way, you can kick all the way back. You've got 90 degree, and he's got his point. Not a whole lot to this guy, but I mean, he looks intimidating. And that's what I like about him. I like that big red eye and the face shield. So let's transform him real quick. Pull the feet up. Tonka truck part out of the way. Fold those back. And of course, fold this up. Yeah, I don't have to turn the waist. I just leave it alone. The head. This part's kind of hard to do. It's got these little pegs, and they sit right into the bottom of the face mask, as you see there. Another flash mold I have to trim up. And so it doesn't twist, but now you can look up and down. Flip that in, and you have to angle that up just a little bit so you can slide those teeth back up underneath there. Fold that up. We're going to fold this all the way up. And of course it's got the grooves along both sides, and you got the post. Let's see, now you can see. Now you got the post here, and you got the grooves here. So just fold up, put that into the groove, and do more fit into the groove. There we go. Alright, now the other side. Same way. Alright, now this is where I was talking about, but these things are messed up. You can't put them back. Well, maybe. No, let's see. That's really off-centered. So the way that this guy originally came to be packaged, he was packaged just like this. Completely wrong. Well, at least he has a bed for his dump truck mode, though. Without having the arms in the way. Alright, so there's dump truck mode. Works pretty well. Jeez, I'm just finding all sorts of flash mold all over the place. Right there. Anyways, that's long haul. Now easily, we're gonna go ahead and put him into his body mode, or just like so. Put this whole part back, and there's his torso mode. Well, flip this forward. All right, now there's torso mode. And you got the two holes there, like I was talking about for hook, and then you get the two pieces here. And, well, I thought that was turning white, but that's just from the light. A lot of stuff I had to clean up. Alright, well, that's that part. Let me get somebody else. Okay, so we're going on to hook now. Put him in his combined mode. Pop that off. And this thing has a bit of a little hook latch. I haven't quite figured out how to get it apart without just pulling it apart. I hate pulling it and feeling to wear that completely off. Anyways, pull that apart, and got that little peg. Well, before I do that, what do I do with it? Now, I can't pop these out with my fingernails, so I had to use a little tool. Alright, so let me get these two parts out. Got that one out. Might be able to get that one. Yeah, got that one. You can't get that one because it's so far in that recess. Alright, so now we can pop that together. Get rid of that. And these parts. Okay, maybe I need a tool again. Pop that out of the way. And then do it this way. This out. Okay, put the head. The head's not too bad. It's kind of decent. It's got a little bit of a, I think it's a sticker. Or is that just a paint bubble? It's a paint bubble. Don't like that. He's got a little clear spot in his head. What is that for? Little button on the back. Maybe he had a a push button he could light up his head at one point? Don't know. Okay, and then this part, because this is off-centered, it'll stick on there, and it'll stay out of the way, but you can still have his head, so that works out. Line those up a little bit. Alright. Go ahead and take that torso, line that up. You get in the hole. It usually just pops together. There we go. Alright. Now that's all locked into place. But you had those two holes and then this part clipping onto the front of this. This is not full all the way, but it'll fold right there. Since we already got him at this point, we'll go ahead and put on his chest shield, just to go ahead and do it. Hole. Okay. The head is kind of floppy up there, but okay. Now we do Mixmaster. It's pretty much simple. All right, and just go. This part out and just fold it up. Now due to this thing being in the way, that's as far as it's going to stand up. So, no, there's one leg. And we do scrapper. Pop these off. Rotate this back. Pull this up. And this time that's going to lock into place. And lock that one in place. Like I said, there's no ratcheting points. This is always going to be sliding. This is pretty stiff though. And there's that leg, and of course, slide that up. Okay, that one's already up. So, there's both the legs done. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Scavenger here, and we're going to put him into his robot arm mode. But some people are curious about if the Rage of Hercules would work, and put that for aside for a second. Okay, so I do have this guy, Gears of War, was it 03? You can't even see him, but there. Anyways, I took his arm off because the arm is basically the exact same thing as the TFC's Rage of Hercules. So we're gonna try that. And here's that part, and there's the extra clasp, pretty much keeps it in place. So we're gonna put that onto the Scavenger. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take that off. Don't really have to. Yeah, pretty much gonna keep those in place. And well, would have thought it would be hooking up to that point. That one clearly has it. Is it inside? No, it's not inside. That's awkward. Okay. Let's try it anyways. I mean, there's the spot where it's supposed to go. It wants to fit. And tension wants to push it back out. See? Just like that. Let's force it on there. Let's see how that'll work. Well, you can force it onto the arm. You know, it only has one peg hole and a big block on the other side. It's still very tight. You have no twist there, but of course you got the twist there. And he has a right arm. Okay. Still not tight in there. Oh, that's because that's not pegged in there. There we go. And of course you can get the connector point there, but with the Razor Hercules you've also got a piece that actually locks onto the main body and will let you use the threads. Okay. Anyways. So yeah, you can hook these onto either one. I've already hooked it onto the Bone Crusher, so I know it hooks to him. This is the first time I tried with him. Alright, so put him in his arm mode. Pretty much popping these down. Pull these all the way down. Oh, before I do that, you see he's left arm. So I'm going to need a left fist. Now the fist, it's one solid piece. Well, not solid, it's hollow, but there is no articulation. Fists don't move, fingers don't move, nothing about it. Even there's no swivel here. Well, he's got a fist at least. Alright, let's separate those and connect this on the right way. And close those together, and those stay pretty securely right there, so that works. Nice goes bend so you can be lifting weights. Alright, that arm is done. Now, let's go ahead and put that piece back on. It does leave a little bit of a gap there in between. Not sure if you can see that too well. There we go. It does have a little bit of wrist movement there. But if you push it down and pull it back, it's going to pull on that bottom half. Anyways, there's that one. We did the other one next. Alright, pretty plain, pretty simple, just like the other one. I'm not going to connect the Gears of War piece onto it. Now I know from the original, you're going to have the extra parts and the shovel and all that. This one, don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Okay, now we got the right fist, exactly the same as the left fist. And going on that way, so yeah. Put that in, maybe. Come on now. Okay, and then the other one, I think these fold up and it closes and the shovels fold over or something like that. Like I said, I've never had one, so I'm just going by what I've seen. This does not move. Well, yeah, not really. I guess you can move them like that, maybe. And I just keep them together. Looks better with one solid piece. Alright, so it has fist. And I guess if you wanted to, you could pop this in with the different pegs and then have it turn sideways. I'm just gonna leave it like that for right now. You're just gonna fold the arms out anyway, so you get the treads like that. Doing that backwards. Okay, anyways, that's that arm. Okay, I don't know how well the camera angle is gonna go for this, and I am really having to stretch because I am right behind the camera. Anyways, here he is connected with hook and long haul, and I did that last night. Now, I passed out last night because I took that medication and I went to sleep. I was gone. Well, the camera died, and I laid down on the couch waiting for it to charge, and I was watching TV and I was out. Anyways, you can't just connect them like this. It will not go. What you have to do is start it at its side. It just slides in, no problem. As soon as it's in, you turn it, and when it turns, it locks that joint into place. It's got a little bit of play, as you might barely be able to see it there. Very, very little. Okay, same thing on the other side. And then and now those are locked in place. Okay. Now let's raise the camera up. I got this on tripod, so I have to loosen up this point to bring it up. Okay. Okay, now let's adjust that light a little bit higher. It's still a little dark up there, but turn some of the lights here, get a little bit more light up there. A little bit better. Okay, same thing with the legs. You have to do the same thing with the arms. So we'll go ahead and put those on. Let's angle that just a little bit. Like it's coming at you. Okay, now they're secure. Same down this side. And of course, this thing's now in the way, but got it in farm. Going real slow, but it has some tension. So if we took this off, yeah, it'll hold its spot. It's just when it gets to that point, gravity takes effect. Right there. So it's going to slowly move its way back down. Alright. Articulation for this guy. Might have shown it off before, but the head is on this swivel on the very back. So he can look into his shoulders. Say, I'm hiding. You can't even see it. Alright, he looks down. Looks up due to the transformation. And you saw the arms. The arms can rotate all the way around. They move out that far, and they hit his head. And if that crane piece is on there, he wouldn't be able to move up like that. The arms have that joint, so he can flex. He can hold his weapon, maybe. Nope, he can't. Alright, and he does have that waist due to long haul. And of course the legs. It's gonna be fun. Can't move it back any further. It's kind of stuck in the way. But he can kick forward that far. And he can bend his knee. Alright, so I am not going to do like one of those durability tests where you shake him, see if it falls apart. Something might fall apart. Something might not. The ankle, it's got a little bit of ankle play. This side is just the scoop itself. Now, here's the back side of him. Alright, this is where he's a little fidgety, but once you get him posed and standing, he's pretty stable. He'll still stay in place. The feet pieces, you can see they're kind of out of whack, but that's because this part right here just swivels. It doesn't stay in place. But they're pretty stable. Once you get him standing in his pose, they'll stay, or you might have to move them into position. Alright, so that's the knockoff Hercules. Okay, we need to do comparison, so I'm gonna move the camera back a little to the side here. Alright, I think that'll work. Let's move him back and put him into shot. Keep him away from the light so it doesn't melt. Okay, that looks very good. Okay, so let's put him up against the G1 Grimlock. No, I'm kidding. That's the world's smallest Transformer Grimlock. Well, let's put him up against the classic Secret mold for your Starscream. I'll put him exactly next to him. Alright, so, yeah, comes up to about the barrel here. So, that's him. Now, we'll put him up against his original G1 version, but mine has the crazy Devy attachments. And he is forward heavy, so he has to lean forward a little bit. Of course, crazy Devy, I got the hips, the arms, and the head. I didn't get the barrel, some of the other things, but yeah, he comes up to roughly the elbow here. Maybe if he was standing completely straight up, he comes up about halfway to the arm joint here, so he's mid-range. For the actual size of a original G1, I don't have an extra, but I do have a knockoff. Never was a fan of the orange or the yellow. But I figured, well, I at least got to get something. So I saw this in, I think it was Walgreens or CVS or something. So I picked him up. This one, yeah, roughly about to the elbow again. Maybe top of the elbow. Okay. What else we got here? Well, he fell over. Here he is to the Walmart all green movie Devastator, which is pretty much like a little troll. The top of the barrel yet again, so about the same height as Starscream. Yeah, Starscream's just a little bit bigger than the movie Devastator. but just barely, you know, very slightly. And now, when I originally was looking to buy a third-party Devastator, it was either TFC or, of course, the other one, which is the Maketoys. I opted out and bought the Maketoys version. It aesthetically looked better to me, and plus the price was right. I mean, compared to like a $600 figure to a $300 figure, I went this route. Because it looked better, price was better, it just appealed to me. I mean, some people, this being like the TFC original, this is what they wanted. No problem there, go for it. Price for me, that was probably the killer. But when I saw this as a knockoff, and it was for 60 bucks, and there were two different versions, and I did a little bit of research on them, this looks more like the official version, just, you know, a knockoff. So I went this route, and I really like it. I would actually put it on the shelf next to each other and be proud of it. I mean, I like robots in general, so don't really matter. Okay, and let's go one more thing. What was I gonna do? Oh, the weapons. Now, I showed all the guys, the TFC ones, they all had individual weapons. This guy didn't have that. What they went and did is, here's his gun. Better back there, because that way you got light. It's one solid piece. You could not cut this up and make individual weapons if you wanted to. Well, you probably could, but I'm not that crafted. So yeah, it's stuck with one gun. You know, if I cut it, you would have big hollow pieces on the top and the bottom of the barrel. Same thing here. I have to do a ton of maintenance to it to make it actually work. But actually, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 guns there. It does fit in his hand. I don't want to put it in there because it looks lame. I mean, the hand doesn't actually grip around it. And he comes with a sword. It does have like some markings along it. It's got a scuff mark, just like the front of this thing has a, well, no, it was Hook. Hook had the scuff mark. It's pretty much hollow on the back. There we go. It's okay for like a big, I want to say a katana. And it's alright, it worked. I did notice when I was going through the box that I guess they had dropped one of their knockoff little mini cons in there. So, a little bonus piece. Doesn't connect to him, doesn't go anywhere on him. But, anyways, that is the knockoff TFC Hercules. I like it. I'm going to, like Frisk said, 60 bucks. I could just sit it on the shelf as it is, but there's so many little possibilities on it for me to customize it, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually make it where he has head joints, he has better arm joints, wrist swivels, blah blah blah. This is going to be my first actual, I want to say scratch build or custom build. And I might even do some painting to it. I haven't done painting in 15-20 years. So anyways, that's my review of the KFC knockoff Hercules. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you go to Sir Toys, like I said, pick it up, 60 bucks. Really good deal. I'm liking it. Anyways, till later.